Look at a bird. What do you see? A flying machine, a biological drone, a creature that eats garbage. We use the phrase bird brain as an insult. We think they are stupid. We think we are special, but we are completely wrong. There is a specific creature flying above your head right now. It is dressed entirely in black. It is watching you. It remembers your face. And according to evolutionary biologists, it is operating with the exact same level of conscious intelligence as a 7-year-old human child. This is the terrifying biological truth about crows. To understand how insane this is, we have to look at human children. A human baby is essentially useless for years. It takes a human child roughly 5 to 7 years to finally understand a basic rule of physics called cause and effect. If you show a 4-year-old human a glass of water with a toy floating just out of reach, they will cry. They will reach their hand inside. They will fail. But if you present the exact same puzzle to a crow, the crow does not panic. The crow looks at the water. It finds heavy stones, and one by one, it drops the stones into the liquid. It understands displacement. It knows that adding solid mass to the bottom will push the liquid mass to the top. The crow understands physics. Dogs cannot do this. Cats cannot do this. A creature with a brain the size of a walnut is actively calculating fluid dynamics. For centuries, human scientists were incredibly arrogant. We looked at our massive, wrinkly brains and declared that size equals intelligence. We thought a smooth, tiny bird brain was completely worthless. But evolution is not a size contest. Evolution is an engineering game. When scientists finally put a crow's brain under a microscope, they found something terrifying. A mammalian brain is like a clunky desktop computer from the 1990s. It takes up a lot of space, but it is full of empty gaps. A crow's brain is a modern military-grade microchip. Their neurons are packed so tightly and so densely that they process complex logic in a fraction of a second without needing a massive skull. They are biological supercomputers optimized for flight. Lots of animals use tools. A chimpanzee will pick up a stick to dig for bugs, but picking up a stick is not genius. It is just using what nature provided. To truly test intelligence, researchers placed a bucket of food inside a plastic tube out of a crow's reach. They gave the crow a perfectly straight piece of metal wire. The straight wire was useless. The crow looked at the wire. It realized the shape was wrong, so it wedged the tip under a crack in the table and used its beak to bend the metal into a perfect hook. The crow imagined a shape that did not exist in nature and manufactured it. Humans took millions of years to forge shaped tools. Crows are doing it right now, in your backyard. But true intelligence is not just about making tools. It is about deception. In psychology, there is a massive cognitive milestone called theory of mind. It means you understand that other creatures have their own independent thoughts, and those thoughts can be manipulated. If a crow finds a piece of meat and notices another crow watching, it will pretend to hide the food. It will dig a fake hole, cover it up, and act like the treasure is buried there. Then, it will fly away and secretly hide the real food somewhere else. They understand how to hack the psychology of their enemies. We also think humans are special because of our impulse control. There is a famous experiment called the marshmallow test. Put a treat in front of a child and say, "Wait 15 minutes. And I will give you 2. A 4-year-old will eat it immediately. Their brain cannot process delayed reward. A 7-year-old will wait. When scientists offered crows a piece of bread now, or high-value meat if they waited, the crows waited. They suppressed primal hunger, calculated the future economic return, and chose the investment. They have better impulse control than some human adults. They don't just use natural tools, either. They use our entire civilization as a tool. In Japan, carrion crows discovered that walnuts are too hard to crack with their beaks. So, they fly to busy city intersections. They wait for the pedestrian traffic light to turn green. They walk out, place the nuts directly in front of the car tires, and fly away. The cars drive over the nuts and crack them. Then, the crows patiently wait for the light to turn red again, safely walk into the crosswalk, and collect their food. They have decoded human traffic laws and turned 2-ton death machines into their personal nutcrackers. And they are socially terrifying. Throw a rock at a dog, and it will run away. Throw a rock at a crow, and you have initiated a biological war. Researchers wore a specific, ugly rubber mask, walked onto campus, and trapped a few crows. They tagged them, released them, and took the masks off. Months later, researchers walked across campus wearing the mask again. Suddenly, dozens of crows dive-bombed them. But here is the terrifying part. The attacking crows were not the ones they trapped. The original crows had communicated. They described the face of the enemy. Years later, crows that had never even been born when the experiment happened were violently attacking anyone wearing that exact mask. They hold generational grudges. They have a language complex enough to describe facial features. If you wrong a crow, it will tell its children, and its children will tell their children to hate you. On the flip side, if you are useful to them, they treat you like a mafia boss.